Jared Hippler. I have a nonprofit called A Primally Playful Foundation, and one of the services we offer is I do life coaching for people experiencing homelessness. And I also teach life skills and life lessons to youth and orphans in developing countries and here. So I have some training in de-escalation. I was a ranger at Burning Man, so we were taught de-escalation there. I was a peer helper in high school, we learned it there. I have some of it in life coaching, and I did some research of my own as well. So the goal for this workshop is I want to give you guys a number of tools that you can use when there are situations where people are being aggressive or agitated in some way or another. The agenda for the day, we're going to go over the overview. We're going to do some group agreements, some kind of ground rules that we're all going to have for today. We're going to go into an icebreaker. We're going to go into sharing what you already know, because I've talked with some of you already, and there's already some good techniques here. So we're going to sit in a circle, share what you already know, and then we're going to go into the biggest tool that I want you to walk away with today, which is called nonviolent communication. It is extremely helpful in de-escalation and in general getting to the root cause of what's really agitating somebody. So we're going to spend a lot of time on nonviolent communication. Then we'll take a 5-minute break. Then we'll get into some de-escalating aggressive behavior scale. It's called DABS for short. I don't know why they call it a scale. It's mainly a number of techniques that are widely used in the de-escalation school. And then we're going to go into some verbal de-escalation techniques and non-verbal de-escalation techniques. And then we'll wrap it up with some feedback there. And this is going to be dynamic. It's going to be fun. I'm going to try to talk as little as possible. We have a lot of group activities. We got games, group discussion. So it's going to be interactive. Okay? And please, at the end, be very open to your feedback. I'm trying to improve as a facilitator, as giving workshops like this. So your feedback will be very valuable. All right, ground rules. Let's go around. What are some ground rules you guys want to have here at the workshop while we're here working with each other?
Basic respect.
Basic respect? Yep.
Focus on allowing space for everybody to speak, even the people who might take a little bit more time to want to speak.
Safety. We're not going to be doing a lot of games that involve movement, but just be aware of that. There's also emotional safety. Okay? You're going to be doing some partnered activities, and you're going to be doing nonviolent communication. I'm going to ask you all to use some real life incidents. So if any of you need to step away, if any of you need to take some time out at any point during the workshop, please feel free. These are all invitations, right? You're all here on invitation, and all of these are. So I don't want you to feel bad if you'd rather not participate for whatever reason. Okay? I have everyone's pronouns. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to do my best to respect and remember those. And please feel free that if I slip up, just say, hey, they. Okay? We're going to do a 2-minute meditation. I do this before all classes, trainings, etc. It's to help us get in our body and to prepare our minds to be ready to learn present everybody here. So we're just going for 2 minutes. You can sit, you can stand, whatever you need to do to arrive. Okay? You can follow Simon. Alright, the first game we're going to play is a rock, paper, scissors. So this is a mainly non-competitive one game. So you're going to play somebody in rock, paper, scissors. Okay? One go. Whoever wins person who lost is then going to become that person's biggest fan. On each time cheering her on, and she then goes to compete against someone else in rock, paper, scissors. Show them. How do you feel after winning the championship?
Feel strong, ready to go again. Go another year or two. Why not? You know, my knees are still good.
All right, next game is called Confluence. This will just be the second icebreaker and the only icebreaker game. How this game works, we're going to be moving around this area, just milling about. Organically, somebody's going to do some type of movement. So maybe it's this. And then everybody else is going to start doing that movement. And then organically, somebody else is going to do a different type of movement. And then we're going to be doing that movement. So we're eventually going to have a hive mind here. Confluence. This is a game from the world of improv. And I chose these specifically, and I'll explain why after. Does everybody understand confluence? Yeah? All right, so just start milling about. Round of applause. All right, so why'd I choose these games? Besides getting us laughing, loosen up, it's really important to do that. So, the first game, rock, paper, scissors. One thing I want to say that, you know, when you guys are out there at night market, if there is somebody who's agitated, it might be one person, right? Maybe two, but everybody else out there is on your team. Everybody else wants that person to chill out, right? To be de-escalated. So you have their support, you have each other's support, okay? That's important. The second game, confluence, a lot of de-escalation is you and your presence. Just having a calm energy about yourself, just being in the same presence of someone that is agitated, that has a physiological effect on somebody else. So just you taking care of yourselves going into night market, whether that's meditating, exercising, but you being in a positive state, can already set you off for success for de-escalating. So that's why I chose those games specifically. Open floor, yeah, popcorn style.
It's not a competition. One of the first things you're going to feel is defensive. Like, you're just going to be the monkey brain that's going to go off. Right? The first thing you want to do is start to defend yourself and then realize that this person most likely isn't a threat and they're just expressing themselves very loudly or very aggressively. And
Keyed up. Keyed up. Radiant.
one of my favorites, jubilant.
Complacent.
Exultant. Glorious. Trusting.
Serene.
Ooh, round of applause, round of applause. Those are the words where your needs are being met. This next list, we're gonna go through a couple times. These, how people are most likely to feel when your needs are not being met. And these are probably better to know because, you know, working with somebody who is agitated, what I was talking about earlier, if you're able to kind of to name it, to say, I think this might be what you're feeling. Yes, that is exactly how I'm feeling. That has an effect on people when you're able to, you've already helped them in some way. Right now, they're not cured, but it is helping. So, how we are likely to feel when our needs are not being met. There's one point I want to make here about distinguishing between words that express actual feelings and those that describe what we think we are. So I have a couple things here directly from his book. So for instance, I feel inadequate as a guitar player. In this statement, I'm assessing my ability as a guitar player rather than clearly expressing my feelings. So expressing of actual feelings, I feel disappointed in myself as a guitar player. I feel impatient with myself as a guitar player. I feel frustrated with myself as a guitar player. The actual feeling behind my assessment of myself is inadequate. So that could therefore be disappointment, impatient, frustration, or some other emotion. So words like ignored express how we interpret others rather than how we feel. This is a sampling of some of those words that basically they require somebody else and they're not necessarily our feelings. Going down the list.
With like ignored, would that potentially be like would unheard
Yes.
then be the okay.
Because that requires somebody to hear you. Abandoned is another one. So some other ones.
So, abused.
Abused. So again, that requires someone else to do something to you.
Let down.
Let down.
Attacked.
Attacked.
Patronized. Boxed in.
All right, I want a round of applause. I like round of applause, right? We all get to do something, like fix up the energy a bit.
Get the blood into it.
The next part. So, values. You're feeling emotional because there is a human need or value that has been violated or has not been met. Every agitated person that you see come to you, there's an unmet value, a human need that's not being met. That's what's going on with that person. So same thing with the emotions. What are some human values? So a lot of this is just increasing our vocabulary of values and emotions. So same thing, we're gonna go around and just think of human values. Tenderness. Let me give you some examples. Autonomy is a human value. To be able to do what I want, when I want. Respect. What are some other human values? And we could do popcorn style. Support.
Trust. Compassion.
Yep. Support, trust, compassion. Belonging. Belonging. Yes. That's a big one. Agency. Yes. Autonomy, integrity, celebration, interdependence, play, physical nurturance. So a lot of different types. The fourth step in this process is a request. And it is to request something that will enrich both parties. So, for instance, I noticed when you raised your voice at me, I felt afraid because you violated my human value of respect. Or when you cursed at me, I felt agitated and annoyed because you violated my human value of respect. in the future, the next time you get really angry, I would really appreciate it if you did not raise your voice next time you talk. Could you agree to that request? So are there any questions on this 4-part system?
Aside from me, just like
And you won't always be using all 4 of these steps in your interactions. This framework, at least for me, and I hope for you, it changes how I view people and how I view interactions. You know, if I go into a situation where somebody is agitated, we'll go into the other techniques I use, but first thing I'm thinking is, what needs not being met here? What need is this person looking to get fulfilled? Can I fulfill that need right here in the immediate future? So for instance, an obvious example of that, if somebody is yelling at the line of people at night market, that person wants to be heard. Is there a way that I can approach them and have them speak to me to be heard? I'll listen to them. We'll go into different techniques on how to go about that, but just having that mindset of what is this person's need and how can we go about satisfying it to the extent that we can and we're comfortable.
we have bread. We have.
Yeah. Bread. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So you wanna come?
Okay. Okay. We're done. I think.
Giant bell bacon for you.